Yes, people, what's going on? Manchester United have lost the derby against City 3-0. I don't really know where to start. I tweeted earlier, it does feel like the writing's on the wall, unfortunately. And the reason why I say unfortunately is because obviously I want this manager to turn it around. I want us to get the results. I want him to, you know, get going at United and get the team playing the way he wants us to play. But you're looking at these performances, and look, I know today there was semblances of our performance which were okay. I hate saying this after a defeat or a bad result, but they were like, we pressed them quite well. In the first half, we were winning the ball back high up the pitch. I thought Patrick Dorgu was looking good. Brian Mbeumo was a constant threat, and we didn't have too many issues defensively. Obviously, Luke Shaw gets skinned. Bruno Fernandes and Lenny Yoro have a little mix-up, which is explained after the game. And they score 1-0. And for all the possession that United had and all the threat that we had, up until we were 3-0 down, we didn't really create any clear-cut chances. Obviously, Brian Mbeumo drew a great save out of Donnarumma. And then we had those instances where, Casemiro and Mbeumo kind of 6 yards out, 4 yards out, and it just bounces off him and goes wide. But up until them points, even with the possession we had, even pressing them well, we didn't create enough chances. And I felt sorry for Benjamin Sesko. I thought he looked lively off the ball in the first half, tried to link up the play as well. But literally no service for him, no service at all. I was shocked with the decision to play Ugarte and Bruno in the midfield. Casemiro felt like the choice ahead of Ugarte. I think Casemiro's looked like a better player. He's looked fitter. He's better in possession. And look, Ugarte was all right in the first half, breaking up the play. But you can't pass wind. And it impacts Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes next to him, playing out of position. And far too many of our best players are playing out of position and underperforming. But Bruno didn't have a very good game. And the thing that we constantly hear with Kobbie Mainoo is, and all these kind of things is, it's a competition between him and Bruno. All right, fair enough. But if it is a competition between him and Bruno, when Bruno Fernandes isn't performing or having a bad game or whatever, you have to be prepared to make the change then. Otherwise, it's not a competition. It's favouritism. And Kobbie Mainoo comes into the team, and immediately we look like a different outfit. Immediately we had someone that could move the ball from those midfield positions into their half and into the final third. He was chucking in nutmegs, he was skinning people, his pass selection was correct. And you're sitting there thinking, how the hell is this kid on the bench? How is this kid on the bench? And I think there's far too many of our players at the moment, Amad Diallo, Benjamin Sesko, Bruno Fernandes, Kobbie Mainoo. You could possibly argue about the wing-backs. So many of our players are just playing out of position and we're not getting the best out of him. And as much as I admire a manager that wants to stick to his guns, wants to get his philosophy across, wants to get the team playing in his image, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, sometimes is insanity. In fact, all the time that's insanity. And occasionally you have to try and do things a little bit different. You don't have to change your principles. You don't have to change your style of play maybe. But you could shift the formation around so that your players are playing in their best positions. A midfield three, all of a sudden, you got Casemiro, Ugarte with Kobbie and Bruno in there. Suddenly that makes sense. The front three, suddenly you get Mbeumo wide, Cunha wide, Sesko through the middle. It makes sense. We've got a whole host of defenders. Lenny Yoro, I don't think he was great today, but Lenny, De Ligt, Maguire, Leacher, who travelled with the team today. We've got centre-backs for days and decent centre-backs, even Aiden Heaven there. I'm just scratching my head at the moment. And like I said, it doesn't feel like this is going to turn around. And again, I like Ruben Amorim. I think he's done a lot of good for Manchester United in terms of trying to change the culture, trying to change things, getting rid of being ruthless with some of the players. I admire that. But most of the good things that he's done for United haven't come on the pitch. And that's a problem because you need to get results. And unfortunately, you look at the fixtures on the horizon. We got Chelsea at home. Then we got Brentford then away. Then we got Liverpool after the international break. If he makes it that far, I'm just left scratching my head and wondering what the hell's going on. I genuinely can't believe it's got here already. Are the players not performing because, like we said earlier, they've been played out of position? Are they not performing because this system isn't what they want? I don't know. I can't explain it. And so many people will go, it's the players, it's the same players. And it's like, this team has completely changed from the team that Ten Hag had, from the team that anyone. There's some good players in there. Granted, we haven't got a goalkeeper and we need to sort out our midfield options. We need another midfield option. You've got a fantastic midfielder in Kobbie Mainoo who's not playing. It's just a head scratcher, man. I'm so baffled and lost. And look, City today, 3-0, it looks like City were amazing. They weren't. They didn't have to be. And that says it all as well. They didn't have to be good today. Arsenal will probably beat them next week. Because I think the City side have a lot of issues, but we just made it so easy for them. I was looking at their backline today and I was thinking, we can get at them. You got Kusanov playing out of position at right back. You got a young lad at full back in O'Reilly. You can get at this City team. We just never ever did it. We never ever put it on them. We never ever really did that. And like I said, there were things about, the amount of shots we had on target, the chances that we created towards the end of the game. Yes, it's all well and good. But at 0-0 in the first half, we didn't create enough. Then we had sloppy mistakes for their goals. Pretty much all of them. Luke Shaw on 2 of them. Abysmal. One of them for Haaland. Get your body in between the man and the ball. He's got to foul you to get it then. And he had the chance to do that and he didn't. He was on his heels. Sloppy. The first goal, again, we spoke about Bruno and Lenny. But Luke Shaw gets skinned far too easily. Then he kind of gets in Ugate's way. He was trying to track back. Ugarte does make the first block. Then Dorgu picks... And Foden's free in the box. Free. It's just... I don't know what's going on at the minute. It's just depressing that we're here as well. September. Season's just started. We're 5 games in or 4 games into the league campaign, whatever it is. And you just end it all now. End it all now. I don't know what's going on. I'd love to be able to say we can beat Chelsea, we'll beat Brentford and turn this thing around. But like I said at the start of the video, unfortunately, it feels like the writing's on the wall. And just read some of his quotes as well. And it's like, it's only so many times we can play, we did okay. It's just a result. Results are important. Results buy your time. And if we don't start getting results, I don't think it's long before the inevitable is going to happen. Unfortunately. I like Ruben. I do like him, but not liking what I see on the pitch at the moment. I'd love him to turn it around. But unfortunately, I don't think he's gonna. Depressing. Anyway, am I wrong? Let me know in the comments.